Right, question 21 then. So here is the centimetre grid. Write down the coordinates of point A. So point A, we always state our x coordinate first, so that's going to be 3, and our y coordinate second, which would be 2. So we're looking at 3, 2. Part B, on the grid, mark with a cross the point with the coordinates of -4, 3. So like before, -4 means our x value, and 3 means our y value. So -4, 3 would be that coordinate there. So I'll mark with an X just like that. Sorry, mark with a cross, not with an X. Label the point B. So that's what I was checking. So B. And part C, on the grid, draw okay, interesting. On the grid, draw the circle with a centre of 1, -1 and a radius of 4. Okay, so 1, -1 would be that point there, and we want a circle with a radius of 4. So in effect, I'd be better off drawing this with a compass. Unfortunately, I don't have a compass to hand, but I'm going to be looking for a circle that passes through those points. So I'm going to do this freehand. You would obviously use a compass. So we're looking at there we go. As I was drawing it, I was thinking that doesn't seem right. I was just checking 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. So 2, 4, 2, 4. So it's going to be more like that. There we go. Okay, and there we go then. So obviously you would have drawn that with a compass rather than freehand like I've just drawn. I'm just checking 1, -1, radius of 4. Yeah. Okay, so if we look for the mark scheme then, so for question 21, it is just a B1 for 3, 2. So B1 for second part, it is B1 for coordinate in the correct place, and then for the final part, B2 for the circle, but it says these marks are given for a circle drawn with a centre of 1, -1, although it says B1 is given for a circle drawn with radius 4 centimetres and any centre, or for any circle drawn from a centre 1, -1. Okay. Right, question 22, simplify. So I'm going to simplify by collecting my C's together. So 4C plus 3C would be 7C, and then my D's together, including the operator in front of them. So 7D minus D would give us 6D. Right, solve. So I'll do 2 quick methods for this. So I would tend to do, so I want to get rid of a times by 5 on both sides. So rather than expand the brackets, I'm going to start with my first step of dividing by 5. That would give me 2m minus 6 is going to be equal to 8. I'm then going to add 6 on both sides, so 2m would be equal to 14. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2 to get m is equal to 7. Alternatively, if I didn't multiply out the brackets first of all, there's nothing wrong with, if I didn't divide by 5 to get rid of that 5, I could have multiplied out the brackets instead as my starting step, which would have given me 10m minus 30 is equal to 40. Add 30 on both sides, so 10m would be equal to 70. Divide both sides by 10, m would be equal to 7 again. Both ways are absolutely fine. I tend to divide by the coefficient rather than expanding the bracket, but that's just my personal preference. And then for part C, there are X sweets in a box and there are Y sweets in a packet. Write an expression in terms of X and Y for the total number of sweets in 3 boxes and 2 packets. So that's going to be 3x plus 2y. If there are x sweets in a box and we want 3 boxes, that would be 3x. And if we have y sweets in a packet and we have 2 packets, that would be 2y. Okay, and that's it for the page. So the mark scheme awards the marks as follows. So M1 for either 6C or 6D, and A1 for fully correct answer. So we'll go M1, A1. For part B, M1 is given for a method to expand the left hand side of the equation. So I'll go for so they've gone M1, M1, A1. I would have gone for the second version, M1 and then M1. Same kind of process. And then for the final part, we have got M1 for either 3x or 2y, and then an A1 for correct expression. Right. Question 23. Hetvi asks her friends how many stickers they each have in their collection. Here are their results. Show this information in a stem and leaf diagram. So we've got a space to do an unordered one before ordering it, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to attempt to do it a slightly different way. So I showed in one of the videos last week that we can do an unordered one and then we order it afterwards. I'm going to go a slightly different technique for today. So if I say my stems are going to be 7, have I got anything below 7? No, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So all I'm going to do is split the numbers into their 10 part and their unit part. And then I need these in size order. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline all the ones that start with a 7. And then, so I've got 4 numbers that begin with 7. And if I'm putting those in size order, that would be 71, 71, 74, 77. So I'm going to go 1, 1, 4, 7. And that saves me having to do an unordered followed by ordered. So I do the same for all of my, and I missed one out. But fortunately I'd left just enough space to fit that in. Right, then I'm going to look at my 8s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. And then to put those in size order then, I'm going to start with my smallest one then is 82. My next smallest one is looking like 84. I've then got I've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. My 9s then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got, putting those in order then, I'm going to go 1, 4, 7, 8. And then that leaves me with just one last one, which would be 103. And so I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're looking fine. And then I will always put my key in as my first value. So 7/1 is equal to 71 stickers. So that's my key. Find the median number of stickers. So we just said that there were 17. So if we've got 17 values, 17 plus 1 divided by 2 would be 18, would be the 9th value. So I'm looking for the 9th value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my median is going to be 86. And that's it for that page. So the mark scheme states, so change pin color. It says B2 for fully correct ordered diagram, so we've got that there. And it does say B1 if, B1 is given for diagram with at most one error or omission. And then we've got a B1 for the key. And then we've got for the median, we've got M1. This mark is given for the 6th identified on the 8 line. Okay, so we've identified that there. So that's M1. So I'll go M1, A1. Right then, question 24. Here is a quadrilateral. Measure the length of the side AB, giving your answer in centimeters. Right, let me just... So, as I'm doing this on a digital screen, I'm going to struggle with this slightly. Let me just see. This may not work, and I might end up moving away from it. So, let me just try my snip tool. So, I don't want to record. What I want to do is I want a rectangle. So if that's at so that should be 100%, and this may not work. But if I measure the length of AB, so I'm going to I need to spin that around till 1, 2, 3. No, that doesn't work. But essentially, I'm going to place my ruler on there, and I can tell, I can see from the mark scheme that the answer should be 4.5, which doesn't match up. So obviously, I'm not working out there. So I'm just going to. That's how you would measure it with a ruler, and provided you measured it correctly, you should find it to be 4.5. We can kind of do this next part though. So if I wanted to work out the size of the angle, in a sense, what I would do is I'd place my protractor on there, and then I'd need to measure the angle between there and there. And you can see from my protractor that's coming out at 110. So the angle would be 110. So let's see whether I can cut that back into my diagram. So if I copy and then get rid of that, let's just see. So I want this in front of the text. There we go. So you can kind of see I've done that on my snippy pad, and I got my angle. Okay, and then if I go to the mark scheme for that, then we're looking at 4.5 centimeters is B1 mark, although it does say that I can markers can accept anything from 4.3 to 4.7. And for the second one, it goes 110, so it agrees with us there, but says that we can award anything from 108 up to 112. Okay, question 25 then. So work out the size of the angle marked with the X, give your reason for each stage of your working. So I'm going to start by working out that angle there. I'm going to call it Y for now, just because I'm using X here. So Y is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 116 plus 25. So I'm going to do my working first of all, and then I'll explain my reasons reason, in this case, after I've done my working. So 116 plus 25. So that's going to be 39 degrees. And my reason for that is angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. And I tend to always show my working and then explain my reason in a bracket to the side. And then I'm going to go straight in to say then x is going to be equal to 39 degrees. I don't need to do any working for that. And the reason for that, though, is it's what's called a vertically opposite angle. Opposite angle to y. And I would be more than happy. I think that's fine. It's 3 marks available. Let's look where is that the only one on the page? It is. So the marks come from 25. M1 for given to find the angle ACB, which would be 39. So we've got M1 for that there, A1 for the 39, and then actually it's A1 for that 39. And then it says this mark is given for 2 correct reasons stated. So the 2 correct reasons are angles in a triangle add up to 180 and vertically opposite angles are equal. So we've got both of those. So we've got the C1 as well. Okay, question 26. On a scale drawing a building with a length of 12.4 centimeters and a width of 9.4 centimeters, the real length of the building is 62 meters. Work out in meters the real width of the building. Okay. So we've got, let's see how this works out. So we've got length and width. We've got a length of 12.4 centimeters in our drawing. So draw and 9.4. And then in real life, the length of the building is 62 meters. Right, so if I do 62 divided by 12.4, oops, that tells me I've times by 5 and then converted to get from there to there. So here to here, I would times by 5 as well. So 9.4 times by 5 would give me 47, and that value would be in meters, so 47. Okay. Question 27. On the grid below, draw the graph of y is equal to 4 minus x for the values of minus 2 to 4. So for the equation of a general equation of a straight line, y is equal to mx plus c. M is the gradient and c is the intercept on the y-axis. So if I rewrite this equation to put it in that form, that would be minus 1x plus 4. So I'm looking for an intercept of 4, and for every 1 square across, it's going to go down 1. So that's going to be my graph. There we go. You could have done it from a table of values, but you can kind of see how much quicker that is if we're feeling confident with that. Okay, apologies for that. My screen just kind of went a bit crazy. I'm just checking that my recording's still running. It seems to be. Okay, so for that, just give me a second. So you can see why that version is so much quicker than table of values. But if you feel more comfortable using table of values, then there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fine. Right, marks for that then. So question 26. So we're looking at question 26. P1 for process to find the scale factor. So that was our process there, P1. P1 for timesing 9.4 by 5. And then an A1 for 47. For question 27, so I'm just comparing my diagram to the diagram. That's absolutely fine. And we can award 3 marks for correct line. We can also award, if you've not got the correct line, but you have got, I can award B2 is given for a correct straight line segment through at least 3 of the points, or all points plotted but not joined, or a line through negative gradient drawn through 0, 4, or 1 mark if can be given for at least 2 points stated or plotted, or a line with negative gradient drawn through 0, 4, or a line through -1. A line with gradient of -1. Okay, and question 28 then. So in Spain, Sam pays €27 for 18 litres of petrol. In Wales, Leo pays £40.80 for 8 gallons of the same type of petrol. €1 equals 0.85 pounds, and 4.5 litres is equal to 1 gallon. Sam thinks petrol is cheaper in Spain than it is in Wales. Is Sam correct? You must show how you got your answer. So we kind of need to decide what units we're going to stick to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for, just looking at my conversion, I'm going to convert into pounds and litres for both. So if I do 27, so let's look at Sam first of all, and I want to convert, so I'm going to say that 27 times by 0.85 is going to be equal to 18 litres. So let's work that out. So 27 times by 0.85. So Sam pays £22.95 for 18 litres. And then if I then look at Leo pays £40.80. And for that he gets 8 times by 4.5, which is equal to 8 times by 4.5. 8 times by 4.5 for 36 litres. Okay, that works out quite nicely actually. So £40.80 for 36 litres. If I halve that, that means he would have paid £20.40 for 18 litres. So Leo paid less. Sam thinks the petrol is cheaper in Spain than in Wales. Is he correct? No. Leo's paid a cheaper price. Let me just check that. So Sam is wrong. Sam is wrong. Petrol is cheaper in Wales. Okay, and let's have a look for questions on that page. That's it. So we are looking at, I missed out question 28. Let's do 28 again then. So change 53 centimeters into millimeters. Well, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So 53 centimeters would be equal to 530 millimeters. 53 centimeters would be 530 millimeters. Right, wrong order for doing those questions, but there we go. And if we go to the mark scheme, then we are looking at, for question 28, B1 for 530. And for question 29, we are looking at P1 to the process to convert litres and gallons. So into litres or gallons, so that's P1 there. P1 is given for the process to convert between euros and pounds, so we've got P1 there. P1 is given for the process to make a comparison between the two petrol prices, which would be that line there, because that's where I've gone for 18. And then a C1 for the conclusion, and the conclusion they have said is Sam is wrong, petrol is cheaper in Wales. Sam is wrong, petrol is cheaper in Wales, so we've got it word for word. Okay, and question 30 then, final question on the paper. Write down the mathematical name of this polygon. So we have got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape, so that would be a hexagon. Which side of the polygon is parallel to CD? So to this line here, that would be that line there. Those are parallel lines. Let's mark it with the correct symbol. So that would be AF. Write down a side of the polygon that is perpendicular. Write down a side that is perpendicular to. So perpendicular means crosses at 90 degrees. So that would be either AB or EF. I'm going to go for the first one. So AB. And that's it. If we go to the mark scheme then. So we have got B1 for hexagon, B1 for AF, and then finally a B1 for either AB or EF. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the paper. So, that seems like a fairly nice paper. If I bring up the mark scheme, just to show you this final page. So on the final page of the mark scheme, if this is useful to you, each of the 30 questions has a topic or a skill tested. If you struggled on any particular concept and you want to do a bit more work on it, that will tell you exactly what area to revise to be a little bit more precise with your revision. Other than that, there is a suggested grade boundaries, but I would very much take that with a pinch of salt. So hopefully that's been useful. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, comments or feedback, feel free to add a comment along with wherever you found this video, and I will see you soon.